Okay, firstly, what is in the coffee cup?
Oh, so I have a cappuccino, full fat milk. What do you have?
Do you always go full fat milk?
Yeah, it tastes better.
Yeah, so do you know what? So I always used to get a skinny cappuccino or a skinny flat white. That used to be my only order.
Yeah.
But then last time I came out to Dubai, someone was asking me like what milk I have in my coffee. And I was like, oh, like I have like full fat or like skimmed or whatever. And then I was like at an event and someone handed me a coconut cappuccino. And I would have needed like a sweetener in it. And I sipped it and I was like, this is actually so good.
Amazing,
Like I guess like the most low calorie milk is like almond. You can obviously go for skimmed. I think as well, because like this time of year, well, maybe not in Dubai, but like in the UK and like colder places.
Eat more calories.
Yeah, coffee obviously, or any hot drink. People are going for hot chocolates, they're going for cappuccinos, any other type of style of coffee, and then they're maybe going for like pumpkin spice or like eggnog or like cream or like whatever. So you're really adding the calories to that, which is obviously gonna rack up like your daily allowance. So I think best milks to go for, best coffees to go for calorie wise. Like I think probably asking for skinny, asking for sugar-free syrup if you have it, swap into a sweetener, and then you could go almond, but why do that to yourself, because almond's just not that nice. You could swap to like coconut or oat. Like there's not massive differences amount in the calories, but that's just sort of like a few short ways that you could reduce your calories down on your hot orders. Some people do just go for a black Americano, but then also, unless you want a black coffee or just like with a splash of milk, that's also an option. But flat whites are quite a good option, like as a swap out for
calorie wise.
Yeah. Because it's not as much milk, and they're like a smaller one.
Yeah.
Anyway, cheers to that. That was the most random conversation.
Yeah, cheers to that. Definitely.
Cheers to the coffee. This is so needed.
Yeah, and how the fuck do you?
How do you even open the cup? Okay, hold on. Usually they have something here.
I found.
How did you do that?
Oh, so you twist this one up and you roll it to the side.
Roll it to the side?
Yeah. Like push it to the side. There you go.
Wow, that's a game changer. Who
it.
knew they could do that? Do they only do that in Dubai?
God knows, yeah. But... Okay, so we are now coming
chat to me. Okay, let's go.
So we're now moving on to 2026, or it'll be 2026 real soon. It's the whole new year, new me.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you'll see the same, but it's so many 6-week challenges, 8-week challenges for the new year. So I'm just wondering with you, is this something you would even recommend to your clients?
So I always say if 6-week and 8-week challenges worked, you'd only need to friggin' do them one time.
So
like
true.
The thing is with 8-week and 6-week challenges is today's society, everyone wants everything to be so convenient. They want everything to be like done yesterday. So nobody has the patience to be investing long term into their lifestyle. Like it's the same as, for example, if you take people now that go and get their nails done, not very many people go to an actual salon anymore. They'll go to one that you can walk in and walk out like in the next 20 minutes because that's the fastest way. Same with the likes of like fat loss. Like if it's the quickest way to do something, people will do it. So I never recommend, and I do not run 6 or 8 week challenges. The longest challenge I'll run is 12, and I'll always be mindful and tell them that at the end of the 12 weeks, they will need to enter a phase of a reverse diet if it's a shred, because you cannot simply leave that program of you dieting quite harshly for 12 weeks and then just go step out of the program and be like, oh, okay, this is great. I've lost all the weight now. Thanks, ta-ra, bye. And they just gained all the weight back on again because they just go back to eating how they ate like beforehand, and that's how they gained all the weight in the first place. So definitely don't recommend them. I think if you're looking for something longer term, then it's obviously going to be something that you need to prioritize and remember in your head that you need to put the work in. What's your take on them? Have you ever ran like 6-week, 8-week shreds?
I've done like a 6-week challenge in the past because I did have a few people ask about it, and I did it and I was just thinking to myself like, this is not even a good sustainable way of losing fat because it's quite a drastic calorie deficit.
Yeah.
And
to do it that quick as well, like it's so drastic.
Yeah. And I feel also with challenges is that since you're left by yourself, you don't really have a coach to guide you. Maybe it's a PDF or it's an app, but to actually get real results, you need accountability.
See, this is it, because I think people see people announcing these like 6-week, 8-week shred, £100, £70. But what people don't realise is whenever they're going into that shred, if you're unable to do something yourself, one PDF document that you could probably ask ChatGPT for is not going to help you get your results. I think coaching nowadays it goes so much further than just giving people plans and giving people workouts, because it's the support that you need to provide. It's the daily non-negotiables that you have them doing. It's the weekly check-ins. It's the support that you give them whenever they're going through a rough patch, whenever the advice you give them when they haven't slept properly, whenever they're struggling with their training, like all those things. Like that's like, I don't think people realize that nowadays, like to be a coach, like you're nearly like a therapist, a doctor, like everything all in one, because everyone's like, you know, like with the rise of AI, you literally can just get whatever you want, or you can save a TikTok video, or you can save an Instagram video. So I think the difference between tying it back into shreds is like, you could literally just, that's probably something that's been given to you and like 100 other people. It's not personalized to you. It's not tailored to you. The calories probably aren't to you either. And if so, you probably could have asked for that advice from somebody random. And if you could do that yourself, then why would you not have done it beforehand, if that makes sense? Because you don't need, obviously, if you are technically saying you don't need that extra accountability, that extra support, which you obviously is what you pay more for in coaching, then why have you not done it yourself already, essentially? So yeah, 6 in each week shred are definitely, what is it, that TikTok trend they say it's on that list? What's your betrayal list?
Oh, betrayal list,
that's my fitness betrayal list.
6 week challenges.
6 week, 8 week challenges. Absolutely not. Yeah, don't do it to yourself. Yeah.
Another thing on my betrayal list is male bodybuilders telling women to just push through no matter where they are in their cycle. It pisses me off.
Oh, yeah. Do you know, I actually had a conversation, it must have been last week. I had a call with a woman who said that she had joined with a male and he was very bodybuilding heavy. And she like was quite upset on the call. She actually said that she just felt like she was never good enough. Like if she was like a little bit weaker at a certain phase, if she couldn't push the same weights, if her hunger was like a little bit more in different stages of the month, he would have literally just been like, grow up. Like this is what it takes to get results. And I think this is not a call out to all men though, because there's definitely some male coaches out there that are so understanding and they're amazing for the female cycle. Obviously females, whenever they're going through it themselves, so they sort of know, they've been there, wore the t-shirt. So I think, yeah, definitely big one on the betrayal list is coaches. And you know, even some female coaches can be quite abrupt and brutal with things like that. They're just like, we'll push through. If you want the results, you want the results. Like if you don't want it, then you're not going to get it, basically. And I think some people can definitely be coached like that. I think some people need to be coached like that because they need a bit like a drill sergeant. They don't need someone that's like quite nice. But also majority of women just want to feel seen. They want to feel understood. They want to know that it's okay that if they didn't get their workouts in this week because their child was sick, or they had to take time off work, or you know they've just had a baby and they were up all night and they're, you know, all these, like, or they were traveling and things like this. Yes, whilst you can like fit things around your lifestyle, there's just sometimes where that doesn't happen. So obviously it sort of ties back to that consistency versus versus perfection. And I think, yeah, if you're really struggling yourself, like having somebody like that that's negative, being like, well, tough, like you need to push through to get the results, it's only going to leave you in a really negative mindset, and it's going to leave you with a sour taste in your mouth when it comes to coaches.
100%. And I think as well with you and me, because we're really good with balance, and it is something we preach to our clients too. And as you said, like sometimes we can't have balance, and that is okay. Also just depends on your client and what your goal is. But what I find super bizarre is that, let's say someone is supposed to train 5 times a week, and if they're with a coach, and let's say 1 week they go 4 times, and if your coach then yells at you in your check-in when you're sitting there, you have 3 kids, you have a full-time job, that is just not the right approach for you, because it's so much better to go 4 times a week compared to 0. And that should still be applauded. At least that's the way I like to look at it.
Yeah, something's better than nothing is what I always tell my clients. And one thing that I actually always do with my clients whenever they sign up is I get them to set 4 minimums and 4 maximums. So what I mean by that is, I'm like, right, okay, say a bomb dropped on your life right now, you were so busy, everything's chaotic, for example, this time of year, the festive season. What are like 3 or 4 things that you can guarantee yourself that you're going to get in on a weekly basis that are minimal, that you are going to feel accomplished from? So i.e. that could be just focusing on 1 protein source per meal. That could be getting 7 hours sleep. That could be drinking 1.5 litre bottle of water in a day. That could be going outside for 20 minutes. That could be journaling. That could be a home workout for 20 minutes. Whether compared to their maximums, it could be going and weight training 4 times a week, doing your cardio a few times a week, tracking every meal. Like, you know, you will go through different phases in your life of where you can switch to your minimums and where you can switch to your maximums, because life is up and down. So there's definitely not like a one way to do it. And like, I think people come into a fitness journey like expecting it just to all be like this and all be like on the up, whereas like whenever it comes to being on a fitness journey, you're literally, it's a roller coaster. There's going to be times where maybe there's sickness, where maybe you're away on holiday, maybe something's cropped up, maybe you're not enjoying that style of training anymore. And I think a lot of people are so quick to give up on their fitness journey, and they're so quick to be like, oh, forget that doesn't work for me, I tried everything. Then they don't realize that they haven't tried things that work for them, because what works for you might not work for me, and what works for me might not work for you. Like I train high rock style training while strength training. You train strength training and you do maybe like Stairmaster or bike for cardio. Like that's what works for each other. Like, not that the other way around wouldn't work, but like you will just find your feet whenever it comes to what works for you. But you need to give it the time. You need to invest the time into it, because if you don't, then you are just prolonging the whole experience for yourself, and really you're going to be in the exact same position this time next year if you don't take the action.
Yeah, and something I see so many times too when I'm doing, for example, client check-ins, is that some clients will be, hey Karina, can we reduce my calories? And then I look through what they've been tracking. They've only been tracking Monday through to Thursday, so they're leaving out 3 days of the week. And ask them like, hey, what you been eating on the weekends? And the answer is usually, I've been eating healthy. But at the end of the day, if you ate healthy, why couldn't you just track it anyway? So we have the data. Because the truth is that if you only track Monday through to Thursday, that's a little bit more than half of your week. If you're not getting results, why can't you just track the weekends as well? So we can actually see where things are going wrong. Because it's so much better to eat 1,600 calories consistently 7 days a week, compared to your coach having to put you down on 1,200 for you to just, eat everything in sight over the weekend, because you're doing it all again on a Monday.
That's on my portrayal list as well, 1,200 calories. Absolutely not. Like, I think the lowest I've ever put one of my clients on for a shoot is like 1,400. Like, I just don't go below it. Like, it frigs your hormones, your sleep, your relationship with food. Like, I think as someone who comes from like a binge eating background and really struggling with like food and like sort of my relationship with it in general, and then tying in with that to the relationship to myself, I would just never want to put another female through that.
Yeah.
I think there's so many different ways that you can try and like push through with your fat loss than dropping calories that low. Like, genuinely, unless there's an underlying issue, there is no need for calories to be that low. Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, I often see, at least I've seen this with a few of my clients, is that they often think it's bonus points for trying to eat less, when in reality you're just making it harder.
Yeah, I get this. People will be like, I don't eat anything all day, and then in the evening time I come home and then I'm starving, and I'm like, well, it's not a bit of wonder you're starving. It's not a bit of wonder you're tired. It's not a bit of wonder that your sleep isn't great, because you've just starved yourself the whole day. You've lived off caffeine or Red Bull or something else that's going to keep you going. You've been running about all day, and then you come home, you sit down, your body's like, rah, like I'm starving. And then also maybe as well, if you're like a busy working woman and you're not going to bed till late, like, you eating that late, it's going to affect your sleep as well. So then there's going to have like a knock-on effect. Then you're waking up, then you're tired, then you're caffeinating, then you're not eating all day because you haven't prepped anything, then you're going home, then you're eating late, then your sleep's affected. So it's such a cycle of like going round and round, whenever people don't realize that if you are eating like a sustainable amount of calories, like you can still see results. Like, I have clients come to me and I'll put them on like 2,000 calories, 1,900 calories, 1,800 calories. And like, one of the things that people always say to me is like, are you sure I can eat that? Like, one of my clients the other day, we did a photo shoot, and she was like, I was like asking them their favorite foods, and one of them was like the Galaxy Ripple. I was like, the chocolate bar, yeah. So like, you can eat within moderation. I think people don't realize that, and I think people use it as a flex, where they're like, I barely eat a thing, and then I just eat in the evenings, or I like don't only eat like 1,300 calories a day. It's like, well, that's why you're on this call with me right now. That's why there is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that sometimes you just need to trust your coach, and especially for long enough. Because if your coach is sitting there telling you like, hey, you should eat breakfast, you should eat lunch, why do you keep on not eating it? It's almost like you're trying to prove a point that, no, I'm not eating anything, this is not working for me. But you actually need to stick with the plan that's given to you. Of course, you need to come to like a bit of a healthy compromise. Because if someone comes in, they're used to eating 1 meal a day, I'm not going to pop them on chicken and rice 6 times a day. That's crazy. But you need to find a happy medium and actually just trust the process for a little bit.
I guess it's the same with your workouts actually as well, because sometimes I'll put people on a program, they're like, just do my workouts change next week, and like, do my meals change next week? And I'm like, have you been changing your workouts and your meals weekly from now? Like before you've like started with me? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, then that's why you've not seen the results, because you're chopping and changing. Don't get me wrong, like my clients, if they're not enjoying something, I'll definitely change it, or like I'll rotate them maybe on a 4 to 6 week basis. Some people just have been on the same program like for like 12, 16 weeks with me, like training wise, because they enjoy it. But I think people don't realize the same with everything in life. If you're not consistent at one thing, like your body responds well to consistency. Similar meal times, similar styles of like foods, similar workouts, like the body likes routine, and like it'll thank you for it by obviously giving you results if you're putting the work in. But I think 100% that's definitely one thing people don't realize is like sometimes it does get boring, like it's not all exciting, but that's part of making it your lifestyle. Like that's something that you maybe just have to come to terms with.
Yeah, and something I advise my clients of too when they're like, oh, I'm so bored of the gym, I feel like I'm in a training slump, is like, when was the last time you wanted to brush your teeth? But you still get it done in the morning, at nighttime, or like whenever you do brush them. It's the same with the gym. You just have to treat it as something you have to show up to. And I like the saying of that training shouldn't be a choice. You may sit there and you may think like, oh, I'm happy in my body, I don't need to train. That's only gonna last you so long.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you're 50, 60, you're gonna fall and you're gonna break a hip because you have zero strength. So it's so important that even though you're young, even though you may look hot naturally, in a decade, that's not the case anymore. So important to actually put in the work now.
Yeah, I think recently as well, just from chatting to like women on calls and etc. Whenever we've been chatting, a lot of women are coming on board for their long-term health now rather than just sort of this like quick fix. I think with the rise of, dare I say it, the skinny jabs, a lot of women have realised, again, another quick fix that's not necessarily going to work long term unless you want to stay on that for life. Don't get me wrong, I do not hate on people that are using it if they're morbidly obese, they haven't been able to move, they maybe have something like fibromyalgia where they're unable to to work out. Then that's great because it gives them confidence and it helps them drop weight in a way where they're now more mobile, and then they can start dropping more body fat because they can move more as well. So it gives them a better quality of life. But like, I've seen some coaches that are definitely on Ozempic or some type of skinny jab, and I'm like, honey, like, please stop posting that you have got that transformation and using yourself as clickbait because you want to try and get more clients whenever you're not telling your clients that you're jabbing yourself. Like, there's absolutely no way. I think this is definitely ruthless for me to say, but I just genuinely think that you have to be so careful who you trust now, because the likes of these quick fixes that are in, like, even some of the coaches are on them, like, and then they're using it to their advantage to try and grow their business, being like, join me and look like this, but what they're not saying is like,
challenge.
Yeah, the 8-week challenge is like, they're not saying join me, jab for 8 weeks and then leave yourself like up the left after it. Like, obviously people lose their hair, there's people that have had like stomach problems, like. So yeah, definitely not hating on them for people that really that's giving them a better quality of life, but people that are just being lazy and they don't want to go to the gym, they don't want to eat well. And then on the other side of that is you do need to still train and eat well when you're on them, because it is stripping you of your muscle mass. Like, you're losing that much weight that you're losing muscle as well. And it's like, if you're not training properly in the gym, if you're not fueling your body with the right nutrients and you're just having like takeaways because you can't eat as much of it, so like obviously inevitably you're going to be losing weight. Like, people don't realize that you actually still have to take some measures to still see like good results if you're using Mounjaro or Ozempic. But yeah, definitely a topic that I just had to bring up because it's ruthless these days.
Yeah. And I also see that so many coaches preach things that they don't really do themselves. I see so many coaches that are like, oh, food freedom, you can go out for a meal. But then if you look at the coach, if they haven't gone out for a meal in 6 months, why is that even a strategy? And your coach may look amazing, but at the end of the day, if they're sitting inside eating 900 calories and they're preaching food freedom, eat all of the foods that you want, it may not be the case.
This is one thing that I will always use as a flex towards my clients. Like, and I mention it on my Instagram all the time. I'm always like, I am I've labeled myself the queen of balance. So
You
funny.
are.
I
You
am.
are.
I am. Yeah, honestly.
Wine and high rocks the next day.
No,
Yep.
stop. So yeah, so obviously, so my client and I, we were like, okay. So obviously we were doing the high rocks, and we went down, and we obviously were there the day before. So everyone was finishing up their races, and I was like, okay, let's just go like to a bar. We'll have a glass of wine. Like, one won't hurt. And then we had one glass. Then it turned into one bottle. Then it turned to everybody going out for dinner. Then it turned into us going out for dinner. Then it turned into us rolling into the hotel at 2 a.m. in the morning. Bearing in mind, so now I'm not telling everyone to go out and do this, by the way, but I'm just trying to prove my point of balance.
Yeah.
So then the next day, it actually wasn't until 6 p.m. until we were doing the high rock. So I was like, we'll be fine. And I went in, downed electrolytes, ate a banana. Not that I did what the banana was going to do, I'm not sure. And woke up the next morning, just got up, hydrated, had some really good food, and we got a PB in the high rock. So it really is about your mindset. I think people they'll go out they'll go out on a night out, and then they lay and fester the next day, and they're like, I'm just so hungover, I couldn't move. I'm like, trust me, Hannah, if I can run a high rocks and get a PB hungover after rolling in at 2 o'clock in the morning, you can go out a walk. And I actually said that to one of my clients in her check-in the other day. She was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel on the Sunday. I was like, honey,
get it done.
Let me tell you, you're going out that walk, and I want to see you going out that walk. So yeah, I always think that it is having that balance. And did I want to go and do a full high rocks? Absolutely not. Did I want to go and do a high rock session the day after my client Christmas night out? Absolutely not. There was very minimal sleep in there, but it makes you feel better. Even if it's not your best session, it still helps. So just having that, having both of it in there, you can definitely do both. You absolutely can. You just need to find the right balance for you.
100%. So my next question for you, Leah, is since you have done a bikini competition before, right? So I was going to ask you if you could choose to live that bikini lifestyle, be leaner all year round, but eat that diet, or would you prefer having a bit more of balance in life?
10 times over balance. Nothing against bodybuilders. I think they are incredible at what they do. The level of discipline that it requires for them to do what they do is amazing, and getting into that incredible shape. However, for me, and this is just my personal experience, and maybe a few others can relate as well, but it completely wrecked my relationship with me, and it wrecked my relationship with food as well. Obviously, because you're tracking so intensely, you're doing so much cardio, all you're thinking about is food, because whenever you're doing something like a bikini prep for a show, you have to stand on the stage and you're against other people, so you can't really have the likes of balance as such in something like that, because it's such an intense shred. You need to look a certain way, and you need to do what it takes to get there. So I found that all I was doing was thinking about food 24/7. So when I finished the shows, I actually remember it so clearly. I got a big box of cookies and brownies. There was 6 in it. I remember sitting in my hotel room that night and eating all 6. And bear in mind, I just dieted for 6 months. I was tiny. I looked sick. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night and having to grab the bin beside me and be sick in the bin, because my body wasn't used to the sugar, wasn't used to that style of food anymore. So, and then since I did that, it really, really triggered me even more. So I was like, I haven't been able to do this for 6 months. I'm going to go frigging crazy. So then I found that it was really difficult to go back to eating normally and having a balance, because I was so all or nothing. I was either eating everything in sight or I was eating nothing at all. And I think that's why I work so closely with women that struggle with the all or nothing approach now. And I work so closely with women that have came from anorexia, or they've came from really bad binge eating disorders, because I've been through it. And I think unless you're going through it and you sort of have been through it, it's really hard to not just think, well, why can't you just stop eating that? Or why just don't have it in the house, don't have it in the cupboards. I'm like, all right, great, didn't think of that, Karen.
Literally.
Do you know what I mean? Great, that's a fantastic idea, don't buy at the shop. It's not as easy as that. Yeah. So yeah, I think just from where I'm at now, I think I'm in a really good, healthy place with myself, with food as well. But you just have to be so careful when you're going into those intense diets. And even some shoot preps can be like that. So I run confidence shoots.
Yeah.
So for me, I have women that are coming in all shapes and sizes, and they're celebrating where they're at from where they've came. And I think obviously you can get a lot of shoots where it's just who can look the leanest. People want to be absolutely shredded. And don't get me wrong, incredible. A lot of work goes into that. But also that can be down the lines of like the sort of negative mindset around food. So you have to be so careful whenever you are entering a diet that you're not going to get yourself into a negative mindset, because getting yourself into that mindset is really difficult to get it back out again. And that is when you do need to have somebody in your corner to help support, because it took me a good couple of years to get over that.
100%.
What about you?
No, it's so funny, since now it's like I will just scroll TikTok, right, and like 2 minutes in, and I see someone promoting eating 800 calories a day, 900 calories a day, and it's like 1 million likes, comments that are like, you look great. And I'm not gonna sit there and say skinny girls don't look great. That's not what I mean, but the goal should always be health, and it's frustrating to see that now the standard is being as skinny as possible again.
Yeah, skinny talk.
We just
is
came
really
out
trending.
of being strong, being confident, being healthy, and now it's like, oh, look at me, I'm eating an apple for dinner. And now it's just, definitely health should always be a main priority, and this is why I'm quite against like that skinny mindset that is like, no, get yourself to the gym, build some muscle, because confidence doesn't come from shrinking yourself. It comes from actually putting in the work, but not putting in the work as in starving yourself.
I think people don't realize that confidence is from within. Like, confidence comes from you showing up repeatedly, daily, and doing the things that you've said that you're going to do, whether that be like the gym, whether that be drinking water, whether that be fueling your body properly, whether that be just like getting 8 hours of sleep. The more you do that, the more confidence you have in yourself. When you start to have that confidence, the more you can build on your daily habits. Then obviously the more you build in them, the more results that you're going to see. Then confidence shines from the outside. But I think people think that they're going in and they don't believe in themselves. I can't do this, negative self-talk. And then they throw themselves into something, and because they automatically don't see like a result yesterday in the mirror, then that's whenever they're like, and that's whenever they feel like just nothing works for them, because they're like, no, I'm not confident. Like, they feel like confidence comes from the outside rather from within. So yeah, I definitely think as women as well, I think with the rise of like skinny talk, because it's trending at the moment. I actually have done a video on this before. I think the woman had said in the video, like, skinny is the outfit, like skinny, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. And I'm like, I swear, like, I thought that freaking quote was like gone with years ago. Like, I remember like growing up, like that's what was all going around. Like, was it Pinterest or whatever at the time? People were like screenshotting them, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. I'm like, yeah, they do. Yeah, it does. I freaking love food. Like, I think it's really, I think women need to promote more eating and going out and having a good time than they do. Like, oh, like, it's like they take the higher ground. Oh no, I'm not, you're not going to eat that, are you? Like, I'm not going to eat that. I actually was out for dinner one time, and it was just like mutual friends, and I had like quite a big plate of dinner. Was it maybe like a Sunday dinner or something? I can't remember. And the guy was like, oh, you're going to have to go to the gym a few times this week to work that plate off. I was like, excuse me? Like, are you okay? Like, you can't say stuff like that to a woman. I think people don't realize those backhanded comments, or you look tiny today. Like, that people would say that as a compliment, but like if someone's like in a negative mindset in their head, they're thinking, oh goodness, that like if I eat anymore, like I'm not going to look that tiny, so I need people to tell me I'm tiny again. Or no, you wouldn't turn around to someone and say you look fat today.
Exactly.
So why are you turning around to someone and being like, you look so skinny today? Like, I just think you never know what's going through somebody's mental state or like in their brain. So I just think, like, obviously saying somebody looks beautiful, someone looks gorgeous, someone looks nice, someone looks like your glutes look good in that dress, whatever. You saying someone looks skinny, like you wouldn't say someone looks fat. So I just think don't do that.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to surround yourself with better people as well. Like the friends I had back in the day, I don't talk to a lot of them now, because I was like, no, I do want to start my fitness journey. And when you start your fitness journey, maybe you post on Instagram, a lot of people are going to be against that. But do you really want losers to dictate your life when you look at it?
So this is another thing. What is your opinion on your environment and how that has an effect on your results in your fitness journey? Like, how, like, do you have clients that are in like a negative environment and you think it's generally they're not getting the results because of their environment? Or, so I know for me, for example, obviously I'm out here in Dubai right now. I find that I thrive when I'm here. Like, I want to train better, I want to eat better, I want to push business more, like I want to post more content, I want to record more things, like I want to see more people. I am like on a higher, like my like higher vibrations, you would say. Like I genuinely feel so much happier. And I think because my environment at home, like it's more so like, more so the weather, to be honest, like it's cold, it's dreary,
Miserable.
like it's miserable, like small town mentality is a massive thing as well. When you're from home, like everybody knows your business, everybody knows where you are, what you're doing, everybody will talk. So I think when it comes to your environment, would you say that you think that's something that really affects you?
Oh, it's massive. And what I often see, sadly, is that so many girls are in quite bad relationships. Maybe they're sitting there with a boyfriend that's like, oh, no, you shouldn't have a coach. No, you shouldn't post that on Instagram. And of course, you're allowed to have
So bad.
boundaries. That's totally okay. But if you're sitting there and you're training and your partner's like, no, that's a waste of time. But then your partner goes to the pub on the weekend and gets the biggest chicken parm, like whatever, and 12 beers, probably more than 12 beers. And that's okay. And that's the norm. I just wouldn't even be in a relationship like that.
I think you do need to be in a relationship where your partner supports you and lifts you up
100%.
and will, even if they're not into the gym, that's also absolutely fine, but like you shouldn't feel like you should have to hide any part of you. I think family come into this as well, like grandparents and stuff. Like I know my nan would always say to me, flip sake, you're not dieting again, are you? Like there's going to be nothing left of you. And I'm like, oh, trust me, there is. So I think like obviously like the older generation, like it's kind of, you can let it play off like it's funny, but the likes of, you know, if you have like maybe, I always think like a lot of whenever it comes to family as well, like there can be a lot of envy when it comes
100%.
to friends, family, relationships. And it's more, sometimes it's nearly not that they think you're going too far, it's that they're jealous of where you are and they don't want them to, they don't want you to get ahead of them. And that's brutal to say, but like that, I see that so much.
All the time.
I have a client and she actually came to me quite upset a few weeks ago and she was like, my friends say that I look too skinny, like they say I look horrible. And I was like, first of all, I'm your coach and I would not take you to the point of looking sick or looking horrible. I was like, second of all, what do all your friends look like?
Exactly.
Are they heavier than you? Like, do they look as good as you? Probably not. And that's, you know, I don't think people realize that often a lot of people will put their own projections on you and make you feel like shit because they feel like shit. So I think, it's who you surround yourself with, your environment in general. And I'm not obviously saying everybody up and leave to Dubai, but like where you, if you're happy at home, great. I just haven't been. So I think when it comes to like surrounding yourself with like a good environment, the right people, keeping your circle small, that is whenever you will thrive in all areas of life, but also in your fitness journey, because you feel like you feel more seen and you feel more supported.
Yeah. And sometimes you just gotta take a fucking chance on yourself. Like if you want to move overseas. I moved from Norway to Australia. Best thing I ever did. It's the same with fitness. You want to go to the gym? Just go and start. You don't need to wait for your friends or your partner's approval because they are not you. I see this often that are like, I'm just going to ask my mom if she thinks this is a good investment. First of all, you're 25. You're going to ask your mom if this is a good investment. Your mom wants to protect you. And your mom may think that you're skinny enough already, even though you may be 20 kilos overweight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's it. It's relying on other people's opinions. Yeah. I also think as well, though, like you can't rely on validation from like other people. If you're not happy from within yourself, you're going to take that into relationships. You're going to take that into even a coaching relationship. Like if you're not happy from within, you're looking for everybody else to blame apart from yourself.
Yeah.
Like that sort of like negative mindset that people have, that victim mentality. Like I've tried everything, nothing works for me. Like nobody tells me I look good. Like you don't need anyone to tell you to look good, hon. Like obviously it's great to hear that, but like I think whenever you can find confidence from within, you don't need anyone to validate you. You don't need anyone's opinion. Like if you want to do and look in a certain way and do something a certain way, then you do that. And like I think that's maybe just from being like more of a sort of stronger, confident female, and like I just see that that's not a thing for so many females, and it's sad because, you know, I just obviously just as my role, like, and what my job is, obviously the confidence coach, like I just want to see confidence in so many women. Like I'm such a girl's girl, I'm such a hype girl, and like that's why I love like my confidence shoot days, and that's why I love like meeting up with you girls whilst I'm here. Like I'm such a hype girl, and I feel like I want everybody to feel like so confident and so good in themselves. But it's so sad that like how many people don't actually feel like that. But then also sad that how many people that have just settled for a life that they're just like, well, this is just all what I'm meant to have in life. Like that's, people will definitely just think, oh, like, oh, this is me now, this is it. Like because they're maybe a couple of kids deep, maybe they're married or whatever, and they think that this is like they can't get any better, or they can't do any better, and that's so not true. You can do anything you put your mind to at any stage in your life.
100%. And for me, like growing up in Norway, where it's very like, you're gonna get an education, you're gonna go to uni, you're gonna have a family, you're gonna live in a grey house with a white fence, then your kids are gonna have kids, and that's life. And that is fantastic for the people who want it.
Yeah, it's beautiful for people that want it.
But for someone who doesn't want it, it's an absolute nightmare. And I was one of them.
Yeah, I'm like, not for me.
Yeah. And my friends in Norway still think I'm weird, but now they're at least used to what I'm doing, being over here in Dubai. But the thing is that when you're sort of like at the top, we collaborate with each other. At the bottom, people will talk shit about you.
Absolutely.
And that's just how it is. Like you, for example, when I see your success and maybe like you had a really good month and you got more amazing new clients, maybe you got a new staff member, that stuff is incredible, right? Mm-hmm. But maybe someone who's, you know, working for someone else, maybe never have done any fitness would be like, oh, she's delusional, she's flying business class, what's she doing?
Honestly, I would love to be a fly in the wall to hear some of the things that have probably been said about me from home.
I remember something you told me. This was first time I met you in person, so this would have been in Dubai last year. But you flew business class, and I think you said that your story views went up by like however much.
Shocking amounts.
Yeah.
Shocking amounts, yeah. I think that just goes back to like not everybody wants to see you do well. People want to see your downfall, which is pretty crazy. And I think if that's just the type of person you are, then that's cool. But keep your negative vibes away from me in my delulu life.
Yeah. What I often see so many people do is that sometimes they maybe start gymming with some of their friends or whatever. But it can be quite a lot of jealousy around that. Maybe you grow glutes a little bit faster, and then someone's like, oh, you're doing an exercise wrong. So you have to be really careful with who you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah, I think, I've cut so many friendships off, to be fair, over the years. And do you know what
Same.
it's
Chop, chop.
Chop, chop, snip,
Go
snip,
away.
snip, snip, motherfucker. Like literally. Honestly, my mum actually has a running joke with me. She's like, how do you just like detach yourself? Like, and I'm just like, listen, if it's not serving me, like I'm not here for it. Absolutely not. I think when it comes to female friendships, like girls can be bitches. Like girls can be so nasty. And, you know, somebody might say to your face, you look great, and like then she could turn around and say, she looks fucking horrible in them leggings. Like same like if you're training with your friend, like, you know, if they think that you're maybe lifting heavier than them, if they think that you look better than them in the gym, if you're both single and you feel like maybe one of them's getting more attention than the other, that creates envy. Whenever you're envious of someone, then that brings so much negative energy into it. So like then it doesn't become a friendship anymore. It becomes like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I
understand what you mean. Like, is it like frenemies in a sense?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, where it's like you're friends, but you're always trying to outdo each other. The worst type of friendships.
Yeah. And something I noticed, especially after coming out here, because of course we're in Dubai, almost everyone has their own business, and it's really easy to surround yourself with people like that. We just choose to have the next level of conversation. Mm-hmm. So maybe, for example, when I was living back in Australia, it was like, oh, who's seeing who? Or she said that at the pub. And now that's not even a thing we ever talk about.
Yeah, now we're just like, okay, so like how are you running your ads?
Yeah, literally. And like, oh, whose mentor are you with? And like, how is that going? And it's just such a different like level of problems in a sense.
Yeah, no, I totally get that for sure. Okay, so if you had a client coming to you and she obviously has really struggled previously. She's told you she's tried everything. She's told you she's done like all the fad diets or whatever. She's wanting to see like results fast-ish, obviously. What are like the 3 main things that you're immediately doing to help her see those results? Because I think this would be really useful for people to actually hear that people are like, they're stuck to be like, what do I do now? Like, I'm unhappy. I feel like I've tried everything. What's the next step? So what, like, obviously, yes, we can sit here and be like, hire a coach. Hi. Yeah. Hashtag be the confidence coach. But like what, if people are maybe not in the position to hire a coach, or they're maybe not comfortable enough to do it, like, what are those like 3 steps that you're like advising them to like go and do to start seeing results?
So if someone comes into me and they're quite nervous, they feel like they haven't really ever seen any results, whatever they're doing, I will actually push them a little bit harder than what I normally would. So let's say I would put someone usually on 1,800 calories as a start for fat loss. Maybe I drop it down to 1,007 or 1,006. So it feels like a bit more of a push. Because if we can have those quick wins as a start, we can always increase food a little bit later anyways. And if someone's coming and they're like, I'm doing everything in the gym, I would go in and I would do a bit of a split between bodybuilding and strength. So that way they can actually see that, oh shit, I am getting stronger. And also like, shit, my glutes are growing because it's a fair bit of volume. So I sometimes think that it's a lot of power in starting, not like harsh, but maybe a little bit extra than what you normally would.
Okay.
And then I also think like mindset is huge. Like you have to be able to stick to something for long enough. Because I see this all the time. People are like, I've tried everything. I'm eating 1,200 calories. But yeah, you may eat 1,200 calories 3 times a week.
Yeah, this is another thing I think when it comes to tracking food. They're like, oh my goodness, I only ate it's like 1,300 calories. I was like, I seen a Starbucks coffee on your story earlier and it's not in your tracker. So you didn't eat 12,000 calories. You ate 13,000 or probably close to 14 depending on what was in the coffee. Then like if you're in the work office, especially this time of year, you're grabbing a Hero, you're grabbing a Rose like out of the chocolate box, and then you've maybe had 5 of them and then you haven't tracked them because it's only one, and then it's another one, then it's another one. So I think people don't actually track properly, and I actually probably would not disagree actually, because like it still works for you, but on your clients, I would have a softer approach whenever people say to me they haven't tried it, but they've tried everything. Only for, I guess maybe your style of clients are different to my style, so this is why every coach is so specific to a person. Whenever people come to me, they've tried everything, but they've always like been so hammered in on the quick fixes. So whenever someone comes to me and they're like, okay, I've tried everything, like what, like the first few things that I'd be recommending to do is setting like the minimums, because I think if they can tick those off, like, can you get 8 hours of sleep per night yet? Like, yes or no? Can you go to the gym twice a week? No. Can you train from home twice a week? Yes. Okay, great. Can you follow a meal plan? If you tell me every meal that you love, can I put that into a meal plan for you and I'll give you 3 or 4 options and you can cycle it for the next 2 weeks? Can you stick to that? Yes. So that's them building confidence that they can actually stick to something, because if they're going in and they've done a 6-week shred in the past and they've had to track their own calories, they've had to go like hard in the gym and they've had to do like cardio, etc., and they found that it hasn't worked for their lifestyle, they're just going to think that my coaching's the exact same. So I actually start on the lower end of the scale and build them up. Now, yes, that might take a little bit longer, but I always say, like all the time when I'm chatting to girls, when people join my coaching, I really, really want it to be the last coach you ever join, because whether you invest for 6 months, 12 months, I've had clients that have been with me like nearly 4 years now, since I've started coaching. They love the crack, and they've like achieved so much over that period of time. But if you can just take that invest in yourself for that amount of time, we can build things up. We can get you to where you want to be. We can reverse diet you. We can then move you away from tracking completely, because you're going to have so much knowledge around food freedom, around accountability, around like how to train properly. So I think it's really like knowing that you need to invest for a good 6 to 12 months and just make those small habit changes daily, rather than like just throwing yourself in. But then again, it depends. Some people are really driven, and some people are like, no, I'm ready, I've tried everything. Like, so your style might work perfectly for them, because they might actually see that result maybe in the next 16 weeks. Whether something with me might be a little bit more of a slow burner, but it's more, I guess I'm very much on like the mindset side of things. And obviously, as I was saying earlier, like confidence comes from within. So building the confidence by doing those habits on a daily basis, then it's obviously going to help them. So I'd think, yeah, those would be the 3 like main things that I would definitely be getting them to set, like definitely their minimums, and then we can move them into their maximums as I say going forward. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think this is the beauty with like choosing a coach based on personality as well as what they deliver.
100%.
Because like you will sign up to a coach and the coach may be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But it just may not click with you. I mean,
100%.
I've had 4 coaches maybe.
Yeah.
My last one, Tim, love you. I've been with him for 3 years now because we just get along.
Yeah.
Of course, his methods are awesome, but if you think about it, at the end of the day, every coach sort of does the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you're happy with a coach and their results, do you like their personality? Because if you don't, maybe don't go with that one. 100%. And that's okay, you know.
That's why I always do a call. So I never sign people up over the DMs. Only if someone like is so invested in working with me and they're like, no, I need to sign up now. I'm
here's
happy.
My credit card. Take it.
Take it. I'm like, okay, honey. But this is why majority of the time I'll sign people up over a call, because I like to get the vibe of someone. If I don't like, I'm a very bubbly, chatty like person, and if I don't like get the vibe, like I will just simply say, I don't think you're a good fit for our team, and I will recommend someone else. That's not me being bitchy or like being like, I'm too good for you. That's me saying, I don't think we would work well together as a duo. Coaching is a 2-way street. You need to communicate with your coach. You need to get on with your coach. Equally, the coach needs to get on with the client and be able to be comfortable enough to be able to tell them whenever they're not doing things properly, when they need to tighten up the belt a little bit, when they need to pull back, and they need to believe that the client's going to believe them. Because if you don't listen to your coach, you might as well be putting the money that you're paying into the coach and ripping it up and putting it in the bin. So I definitely think, like picking the right coach is really, really important, and you need to get the vibes. So 100% agree with that.
100%.
Okay, right. Let's let's do something funny. Okay. You're obviously the single one here. So I'm.
Oh God, yeah.
So, okay. Top 3 to 5 biggest gym icks.
Oh, so
Like like from a man.
So this is one. I have this one like pickup line that I've had from multiple men,
Okay.
and it's only been in Dubai.
Okay.
So I've had guys come up to me and they're like, "Are you from the UK? You look so familiar." And I've had 5 men.
You've
say
had that more than once.
Yeah. So it's obviously
That's
like
so weird.
It must be a saying that people use to try get your attention, because obviously it's like they've never seen me before, and when it's from like that many men too, it's just no.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I got 2 of them in the same day, and I also think those men train at the same gym somewhere else too.
Okay.
So I bet you that's like a thing they do with women.
Are you from the UK?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but like this accent is not from the UK. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely not. Okay, that's one ick.
So terrible pickup lines.
Terrible pickup lines.
Another one that I absolutely hate is that, let's say you're doing lateral raises and you see yourself in the mirror. If a
Yeah.
guy comes in front of you and starts to flex,
Oh, I'm
Piss off.
sorry. Flexing in the gym is
Just don't.
no. Like, don't get me wrong. If it's like in the bathrooms or in an area
Quick photo,
where it's
whatever.
secluded and you want to get a photo and you want to look
Yeah.
good, like great, you've worked well for your body. But like coming over to the weight area, ripping your top off and standing whenever like you, no, I've got no words for that. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No way.
Another one too is that, especially in the gym I go to, we have 4 Smith machines and they're in a
Okay.
row. The worst is that, let's say I'm using one, the one next to me is free.
Yeah.
If someone comes in, they're like, "Oh, can we swap between sets?" Like, just take the one that's next to me.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like when someone sits next to you on the bus and the bus is empty. Like, why can't
Why
you
are you sitting next to me, man?
Yeah. Like, just take the other one. It's literally right there. No, I can't.
That is so fair, actually. Yeah. Okay. Any more?
I'm sure there's like plenty more, because I hate everyone. So
Yeah.
it would be something in there. I think maybe one is that when people like go up to you and they give you like unsolicited advice, but it's
Oh, yeah, that's annoying.
never from anyone with good results themselves.
Yeah.
The only advice I've gotten from people in the gym are from people with like bare belly, like Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah,
you know?
okay. Yeah. You're like, I'm not going to listen to you, huh?
No. Do you have any?
Gym X, I definitely would say the flexing, really loud grunting.
Oh, the grunting.
The grunting is too much. Dancing. You know, like people that like have their headphones in and they're like sort of like really like going between sets. So I'd say grunting, the flexing in the gym,
Wearing Crocs.
wearing Crocs.
Tara's gonna hate me. Tara, she's one of my OG clients. She's been with me 3 years. She wears Crocs in the
Crocs
gym.
on men.
No.
Absolutely.
Not even on women. I can't now. Wear
No,
something
do you know
nicer.
what? Full disclosure, I have a pair of Crocs, but they're really comfortable.
Do you
and
wear
I don't
them in the gym?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
This is fine.
I actually wear them. When do I wear them? Around the house. Like, that's all I really wear them in. Yeah, around the house. Yeah. What about, like, would you say there's an ick with a specific style of gym wear or like gym shoe? What do you call them really horrible ones?
The hookah ones, the one for running. Don't use them in the gym. It'll injure your ankle.
Yeah.
Which one are you thinking about?
No, I'm not thinking of those.
Or any type of sandals, Birkenstocks. Don't wear that.
And who's wearing Birkenstocks in the gym?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Australia is a very free country. You'll see like
Seriously?
different things in there. Yeah.
So just on the topic then of not even like if it's a ick, but like shoes in the gym. So this is one thing I always speak to my clients about, because if you're training legs, you need a flat sole trainer.
Yeah. Take the
So
shoes
like
off. Yeah.
Converse, Vans, Nike Metcons, Rad Globals, like something that's flat and made for weightlifting. If you don't have any of those, then you just need to take your shoes off. Definitely for like, that's purely for like for training lower body. Running, you obviously can't just be like, I couldn't like go a run in like these shoes. Like I would need to have like, I wear
Something
Pumas
better.
for running or I wear New Balance.
Yeah.
I think you're better off as well, just to prevent yourself from getting an injury, is going and getting your gait analysed to see like what shoe suits like you best. So that a flat shoe for weight training, make sure you have a proper running shoe. Obviously upper body, like you're not really doing anything, you can wear whatever.
Yeah,
You
it's
can wear
fine,
cute
yeah.
girl gym shoes for that.
Yeah.
But I think like people don't realise that your footwear can actually cause a bit of an injury as well if you're not wearing the right footwear.
100%. I'm a bit of a hypocrite since I don't really train heavy anymore, if that makes sense. I go in, I train for 30 minutes and I go home, but I'm also not trying to put on any muscle.
Yeah.
I go to maintain, so it's so different, right? If I'm hip thrusting 40 kilos, it's like almost a bit like whatever you're wearing. But like if my clients are there, they're hip thrusting like 150 kilos, and then I see these like big giant shoes, take them off and it'll be so much easier.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's so true.
Easier to connect to the glutes and everything as well.
Yeah. I think a lot of the time as well, whenever people come into the gym, this is what I see quite a lot, especially because I get my clients to send me form videos on a weekly basis. Yeah. I'm like, why are you lifting? Why are you lateral raising 2 kgs? Like, why are you squatting with a 5 kg dumbbell? People do not, like, again, this is another thing, is if you want to see results, if you want to look toned and you want to build muscle and you want to have a good set of glutes, you want to build an hourglass figure, you have to lift heavy in the gym. And I don't 100%. Think people realize that at all. What would you say, like, is the biggest thing for you when it comes to sort of lifting it heavy in the gym? Like, obviously now that you're just maintaining, but like, I think, like, what do you advise your clients on if they can't lift heavier?
I always recommend, like, can you add in a pause, for example? Let's say you're squatting. You don't want to add more because you're afraid you're going to fail. If you can't get a spotter, can you just pause for a second at the bottom, build up a little bit of tension? Or can you just go even more reps? I think sometimes people obsess with how many reps their coach have given them. And of course, if your coach have given you 10 to 12 reps, don't do 20. But at the end of the day, if you do 13 or 14 reps, it's actually okay. It's not going to cause any damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the same as me. So I recommend to drop the reps if you can go heavier. And then even, so for example, we're lateral raising, say we're lateral raising 5s and we need to do 10 reps and I can only get to 8 reps. I'll do them with the 5s and then I'll drop to the 4 for the last 2 reps. So that's a good way.
Yeah,
adding a pause, so really, really focusing on the tempo of the exercise really helps, because you're never going to be able to go any heavier, like, if you're really slowing the weight down. Because that's another thing, people, like, the amount of times I see people throwing the weight up and they're doing it so fast, and I'm like, slow that down and see if you can do that weight again.
Yeah.
Because
like, that's not the tempo I gave you.
That's not the tempo I give you. I think people are like, they just want to get in out quick as possible, and then they're still quick to be like, that didn't work for me. I didn't really see any results from that. And I'm like, that's because you didn't follow it properly. That's why.
Yeah. I think so many women have this misconception too, that if they don't sweat, they're not getting anywhere. But in reality, like, the toned body, that's not made from sweat. It's made from actually lifting heavy shit. So if you're there, I'm not sweating, well, you're not really supposed to sweat, you know?
Yeah, that's it. I think that's why we get so many cardio bunnies now, where they will just go in and do, like, hammer like 2 hours on the Stairmaster, or they'll just run. And, like, whilst it's amazing, cardio is great for fat loss, but it's also great, like, for your overall health. So, like, it is good to keep a tool of cardio in at majority of the time. But I think when it comes to, like, feeling like you've done something, you automatically do feel like you've done more whenever you have, like, been for a run, done a high rock session. Like, you feel like you've done more because you are so sweaty. Whereas, like, if you're just in the gym lifting weights, obviously if you're training hard, like, you will sweat slightly, but you're never going to sweat as much as what you do if you're, like, hammering cardio. So it's knowing the difference between that in general.
Yeah. And I guess for you, since you do high rocks now, if you have a client come in and they're like, I just want to do high rocks, would you say that's a good idea, or would you incorporate weights with it?
Definitely incorporate weights, because what you do, like, high rocks is so strength focused as well. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're a good runner, great, like, you'll do well, because obviously it's a runner's race. And I fucking hate running, but anyways, in my runner girl era, who hates running? So running's going to be one thing that's going to really drastically improve your results. But also, if you're not strong on the stations, you're going to lose time. So, like, there's the sled pull, the sled push, like the wall balls, like all those, like, stations that you need to be doing, like, you will lose time if you're not strong on them. So the likes of the lunges as well, like, that's why I always recommend to keep, like, some high rock style sessions in. So it could be like 1 to 2 classes, maybe like a run or 2 on top of that, but also then still trying to get at least 2 to 3 purely weight training sessions in. So I used to do, my split was like 1 full leg day, 1 full body day, and then I would have done 1 upper day, and then I would have done 2 runs, and I would have done 2 high rocks classes. Now that's obviously a lot of training for the normal average person. I obviously just was, like, training like a maniac, because I obviously did the high rocks in Rome, I did the high rocks in Malaga, I did the high rocks in Dublin. No more high rocks is booked for a little while. Contemplating possibly doing Barcelona in May, which would be cute.
Ooh, that'd be good.
But I just think right now I'm kind of just in my, I just want to train to feel good era. Yeah. Like, I just feel like there's just been a lot. I've been constantly working towards something in the last couple of years, whether it's a shoot, whether it's a high rocks competition, and I'm just really wanting to train to feel good now, and just like enjoy the training more so, rather than having to do it. Because I feel like whenever you feel forced to do something, it's the same as, like, some of my clients are like, I hate the gym, I hate running, I hate the Stairmaster. I'm like, okay, cool, we'll not do it. Let's do something you enjoy. Like, do you enjoy swimming? Do you enjoy using a dumbbell, a kettlebell? Do you enjoy gym classes? Like, you know, again, I think that's another topic as well, is like gym classes. 1 or 2 on top of your own training can be really helpful, because the social aspect of it is great. If you're just purely going and doing gym classes, you're not going to see results that fast, because the classes aren't tailored to you. You're probably not pushing yourself as hard as you would in general, and you've got no nutritional support outside of that either. So I have clients that will do a mix of classes and then a mix of the training that I give them, and I will say, as long as you tick off the training that I give you, you fill your boots with whatever class you want to do outside of that, granted that your recovery is okay on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it's like one of my American clients, she came to me and she was used to doing group classes, and she even messaged me the other day saying that, why did I even bother with the group classes? I'm seeing so much better results with weights, and that's just a few weeks in.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah,
people don't realize.